black man with a ball or two wakes up every morning thinking how he can go out and make another man richer.
Easter Dillington, my good people. I am Mega, back with another reaction video. Let's get this shit in.
Stephen A. Smith
Bullshit.
had a problem with the BET Awards acknowledging O.J. Simpson during its in memoriam segment. So much so that he went on this long diatribe about O.J. and how BET was out of pocket. Family, let me preface my subsequent remarks by saying that black folks in this country don't get a lot of breaks. I get it that O.J. Simpson was not liked by a lot of people, specifically a certain segment of America. I get it. Considering the fact that black folks don't get a lot of breaks in this country, and O.J. was accused of a double homicide in which he was acquitted of, and O.J. Simpson was a Hall of Fame football player, O.J. Simpson absolutely deserved to be included in that in memoriam. I get it. O.J. didn't have a lot of black friends. I'm pretty much indifferent to O.J., but what I'm not going to do is help them make him look bad. I'm not going to help them taint his image. I'm not going to help them destroy his legacy, because I know the only reason they feel the way that they feel about O.J. is because O.J. is a black man, one of the very few in the history of this country who was accused of killing white people and got off. Yeah, nah, that's what this is really about. That's right. That's what this is really about. Because there have been a whole lot of white people who have killed white people in this country and got off. And they've never had that same energy for those people.
It's been way more white people that done killed black people and got off. On the real.
You know what they say? Well, I believe he was guilty. But a jury of his peers acquitted him. They saw it differently, and we just have to respect the jury's decision. Our system is not perfect, but it's the only system that we have. That's what they say. But for some reason, they can't let it go. It's O.J. They can't let it go for some reason. And they have these stooges like Half-Hat, Stephen from Django Smith, perched up to do their work. They put them on national TV. They put them on these big stages where they can have a big audience, where their words can have some influence. And they use these little monkeys like Stephen A. Smith to say the things that they can't say publicly. Oh, they definitely say it in private, but they can't say it publicly because they would be called the racist that they are. In regards to BET including O.J. Simpson in its in memoriam segment, Stephen A. Smith said that when you do things like that, you got people outside the community saying things like, see that? See that? You got TMZ.
That's what pissed me off the most. Out of like all that shit he said, that's what pissed me off the most. Talking about some like, oh yeah, y'all do that, other races and other people gonna be looking at us like, oh, look what they, man. So who gives a damn? Who gives a damn?
Talking about it. You got NBC talking about it. You got CBS talking about it. You got USA talking about it. When you do stuff like that, how does it benefit us as a community. Those are his words. I'm paraphrasing, but those are his words. When you do things like that, how does that benefit us as a community? They really care about us as a community. It sounds like when you say things like that, it sounds like to me like they really care about us. If they're so concerned about what black folks are doing and what we care about, why aren't they talking about reparations? Why aren't CBS and TMZ and USA, why they ain't talking about reparations? Why aren't all these fine media outlets that you mentioned talking about police brutality? How they disproportionately murder black folks, especially unarmed black folks. Why aren't they talking about that? Why aren't they?
Hey, you know what's crazy about social media, bro? It give our old crazy uncles a platform, bro. Because we been seeing this shit. These old niggas saying all this crazy shit. So now they on the internet, they said this shit for the world, bro. This nigga Willie D, man. This nigga speaking some real shit, man. This nigga said, why he not talking about reparations? On the real, though. On the real.
They talking about the wage gap. Because they don't give a damn. That's why.
Nah.
So let me get this straight.
For sure, though.
All of these big, fine, reputable media outlets are talking about a dead man, but they ain't gonna say nothing about all that excessive twerking, ass shaking and bending over and busting it wide open. They ain't gonna say nothing about that.
Hey, bro, that's one thing. Why is everybody mad at that, bro? I like that. That was the best part of the show. That was the best part of the show. You feel what I'm saying, man? That was the best part of the show. You feel that? I think the most that they probably should have did like parental advisory, like, you know, you might not want your kids to put this shit, but shit, they took away uncut. But man, anyway, shit, I like that part.
Them motherfuckers don't even watch the BET Awards.
I ain't even watch them like that neither.
Heard Ronald Goldman daddy saying something about how he was disappointed. Talking like he's sitting there watching the BET Awards. Now, don't get me wrong, I know some of them do watch, but they only watch to snoop. They only be watching to see what they can say about it, you know, how they can criticize.
Hey, no bullshit though. You can't tell me these old white dudes don't like Sexy Red. I know these old white. I'm from the street, bro. I know these old white dudes like Sexy Red, for real.
They definitely ain't watching so they can get some information to praise it. This dude, Stephen A. Smith, is always talking that we the community, the black community, especially since he started doing his podcast on YouTube. He really be talking that black shit like he really part of the community. We can say the same thing about Stephen A. Smith.
On the real.
Even with black friends, we can say the same thing about him because we know he is a company man, bought and paid for.
The same thing that Stephen A. Smith was saying about OJ, bro, we can say about you. We can say about you, hey, look, keep it all the way, bro. I said this before. I would rather have a nigga like OJ that's just not gonna say nothing and just back up and just do his thing with whoever you want to fuck with than a nigga like Stephen A. who act like he a part of our community, so he got like a low key voice and he just used that voice to diminish us. You feel what I'm saying? Or like, you know, bring us down. You know what I mean? Like I would rather have a nigga like OJ than a nigga like Stephen A. that's using his platform to whoop us out.
This is the same dude who said, paraphrasing, that he wakes up every day trying to figure out how he can make some money for his bosses and how he can save or get some of that money for himself. What man with a ball or two wakes up every morning thinking how he can go out and make another man richer?
Hey, you know what's crazy? I bet you when Stephen A. first said that, I bet he thought he dropped a bar. Like every morning I wake up, I think about how to make my boss's money and how I can get some of it. He like, ooh, when I drop that on them, they gonna feel that, man. Niggas been whooping him out ever since he said that.
First, I get it, getting up thinking how you can go make some money for yourself. But to make a statement that you think of making them money first. Now, I get it. In order for you to make some money, if you're going to work for somebody, in order for you to make some money, you got to make them some money. But for that to be your first stop, bought and paid for, son. What my son said, sold not for sale. Not when it comes to Stephen A. Not when it comes to Stephen A. He talks about how BET should not have acknowledged OJ. Let me tell you something, homie. We got bigger fish to fry. I mean, if you really want to talk about symbolism, you really want to talk about acknowledging the dead who perhaps didn't leave model lives. How about you talk about all of these dead slave owners who have their name on government buildings, schools, streets? Why you ain't talking about that, Stephen A?
Why are you talking about that?
Why you don't talk about that?
Why are you talking about that?
Why don't you talk about some of these racists, some of these international murderers who have their names on airports? Yeah. Why you not talking about that? Because Massa don't want to talk about that. Massa has approved that. They ain't got no problem with those people. Massa has that. Those people are Massa approved. So Stephen A knows to don't touch that. Stephen A. Smith is the same dude who saw Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, in an old photo
What he was doing?
where he was in high school with a white mob who was taunting and protesting and preventing young black students who was just simply trying to get an education from entering the school building.
These is facts.
He made excuses for him. Well, Jerry Rice is a good man.
You mean Jay
Jerry
Jones?
Rice is my friend.
Jay Jones.
Oh, but let it have been a black guy. Let it have been any one of those black athletes that he covered, and he would have went in on him. Now, I got to just say that it doesn't matter how long ago it was. It was something that happened, and he got to own that. He got to own that. You know, I ain't scared of nobody. He like to say he ain't scared of people when he's talking about black people. He never get that rah-rah when he talking about white dudes. He always rah-rah when he talking about black. You know, because I ain't scared of nothing. Stephen A. Smith is that dude who go to jail. Y'all remember the movie with Eddie Murphy? I think it was, it may have been Trading Places, when Eddie Murphy went inside the jail cell and he was talking tough, like, you know, because he was trying to make people believe that he was a tough guy so they could stay off his ass.
Okay, it might have been Trading Places.
That's Stephen A. Smith. That's Stephen A. Smith. That's the guy that talks tough to keep people off his ass. I know for a fact he can't fight.
Yeah.
For a fact. Y'all, he got a video out where he's boxing. He's throwing punches at a heavy bag. And fam, the dude don't know a left hook from a fish hook. The dude, I'm not gonna even say he fight like a girl. That would be an insult to women, to all women. He fight like a sissy. That's right. Dude can't fight. Just talk tough and hide behind those cameras and those security guys when he come around. That's what he's counting on. And he's counting on a lot of these people that he cover, that he talk about, not getting on his ass because they got too much to lose. You know, a lot of people that he cover, these guys are athletes. They got, you know, big things going on or whatever. So a lot of these dudes know, man, just try to ignore that dude. But Stephen A ain't that dude. He ain't got no right speaking on the black community, because when he do speak on the black community,
He called him half a hair.
he speak on the black community as a mouthpiece for massa. Stephen A. Smith is a do-boy, a first-class sucker, and so are the rest of you who go out of your way to assemble,
Turkey.
who go out of your way to be accepted by white folks especially. Yeah. Some of y'all care more about what white folks think of you than what you think of yourself.
Woo!
That's a damn shame. Because I can guarantee you that white folks don't wake up thinking about what you think about them.
Nah.
They do whatever the hell they want to do, and they don't think about you.
Facts.
So why do you spend so much time thinking about them?
They gonna think about
Thinking
you
about
more.
what they think of you. People who have a monolithic point of view about other groups of people, their opinions don't mean jack to me, because they're going to think what they want to think anyway. Do you understand that for some white people out there, that a black person literally has to be perfect, has to be a model human being, zero mistakes? The first time they make any kind of mistake, they're gonna say, see that? That is impossible to live up to. No human being, no group of people can ever be perfect. Black people can all of a sudden wake up as a group and not do anything criminal.
On the real though, I'm gonna stop it right there, man. Say as long as a motherfucker, but that's all I was saying about Stephen A. Man, that's like some bunk shit. You feel me? For an older black man to be preaching, you know, to care about what other motherfuckers think about us, like to, you know, to make sure that what we do, that we get approval from them. That's a horrible message. You feel what I'm saying? That's a horrible message, that we got to look at each other and chastise each other because we made each other look bad in front of them. That shit, bro, being in front of them, you go look bad in front of them, bro. They, you know what I mean? Like that was the whole shit with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact motherfuckers don't wake up and think about what the black man, how the black man look at them. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, I hope the black man, come on, bro. Don't nobody give a fuck. And as they should. Like, they shouldn't. You feel what I'm saying? They shouldn't. They shouldn't wake up thinking about what we give a fuck about them. Like, we shouldn't wake up. Man, that was some bunk shit, Stephen A. said. But yeah, I'm up out of here. I am Mega, and I'm up out of here.